good to hear. What brings you to Afterclass with me? Right. And that's good to know. So, it says here that you attended a different school, correct? That's good to know. Right? Okay. So, you decided to attend this school, correct? Right. Well, how was it in your other school? Was good. That's good to know. Good to know. When did you study for your test to pass the grade? I'm just telling you. She wanted us to have you stay with Mr. Fornation after school. That's good, right? Yeah. Wow. What other school did you attend? I haven't heard of that school. I think it's a few blocks away, right? Okay. I can't get my pen. I left it somewhere. I have my pen somewhere. I can just find it. Okay. I can't be here. Great. Nice to hear and everything. Well, it's all good, going well. Okay, here's my pen. Alright, so I also heard that you studied in a different school. Can I get your name? Alright. Okay, so your name is Lewis. Your last name. Alright. So you were practicing your grade, correct? I just need to know these things here and there because it's very important for me to know. Yeah. So, did you meet great teachers? You did. What were their names? Do you remember? Okay. Mrs. Stewart. Okay. Well, it's really nice to meet you, Mr. Formation. Yeah. I thought that I might help you a little bit out because she really wanted you to stay after school with me. Right? And that the other school just wasn't working out to the best of their ability and everything. Your grades really dropped. So it's really nice to be here at summer school, right? Yeah. And tell me, how was the math that you studied? It was great. Was it easier level or difficult level? Okay. Well, yeah, the math is something that you have to work on. Work on. Okay. Now, if you can just tell me. If you can just look at me. Okay. Alright. Seems a little dark in the room, huh? Here, I'll turn off the light a little bit. Okay, there you go. Now you can actually concentrate a little bit more on me and everything. since I know that that's what you came here for, that you did study some of the grade tests and that you are starting to get a lot of different grades here and there, and that's good to know. I usually study with people, I usually just study on my own, but I had to pass a lot of classes just to get to where I am now. I studied a whole bunch of different classes and everything, so it's not that difficult for me to treat students like yourself. Treat students like yourself. It's easier for me to get my job done and everything. What in particular were you looking to change in your grades? Can you explain that a little bit for me? Right. So the math was a difficult subject for you and you just needed a little bit of a boost. Okay, well that's good to know. I can actually help out doing that. So what caused you to be so loud in class? Right. You were talking to someone during the school rules. You're not supposed to talk to other students when they're working. At least that's one of the rules that I heard of. Okay. So talking loud. Okay. So may I ask you, how long have you been working for Mrs. Stewart? Did she eventually change up your upper grade? You said that school was very easy for you, and here it says that you were actually really quiet, which is a good thing. It's good that you are quiet. Okay, so that's very good to know. I'm glad. Okay, so what kind of school is it? Is it an all-guy school, like you said? Yeah, okay. So you seem to be listening very quite well at me. Okay. Alright. So did you study science at all? Is science one of your favorite things to do? Science is one of your favorites. Okay. Well, science is actually an easier level to learn about, if you didn't know that. Here at our schools, we teach all about hypothesis with our science, and it's easier for us to learn it. So, a hypothesis is a guess, is what I studied on. Don't worry about those other things. Okay. So is your talking first language English or Spanish? Right. Okay. So do you know what hola means? It means hi. Yeah. Right. So English is your first language, right? Okay. Well, Louis, you were behaving quite quiet in your class, and I don't think that should be a problem. That shouldn't be a problem at all. I'm just gonna ask you a few questions from here. Okay. So how in particularly were you studying with Miss Stewart? Was it easy, the grade level with Miss Stewart is a little bit easier to study with and to learn the kind of things that she teaches? Well, she sent Mr. Phoenician to see and just check you out a little bit. Right. So with those papers that you have there, is it easy to study it? The papers that I gave you? Right, do you understand that part of math? Is it in your vocab? It's in your vocabulary? Okay. Well, we're studying hypotheses, which is a guess. And I think it can help you out. Yeah, my voice sounds different. Thank you. So, how often do you study in class for tests? Often. Okay, that's good to know. That's excellent. Okay. So, you study in your class, right? Which is good. Yeah. Okay. So, I think that by listening to Miss Stewart, you can get your grades passed. And it can be a lot easier for you, okay? You won't have to worry about what Miss Stewart is doing because you're not with Mr. Phoenician. And it's better listening in English and studying the words. And so did you know that when shoe you want to put the parentheses in the S? Shoes, if you're talking about several shoes. Or if you're talking about one particular shoe, then you would say shoe. If you're talking about particular shoes, then you would say shoes. And those are quite added on the additional things that you're talking about. Alright. So, Mrs. Stewart can't help you. Mrs. Stewart has gone away with the rest of the people that she was studying with. I think that with Mr. Phoenician, you're a lot safer now. Miss Stewart is gone. She has left with the other students and left me to do my job with you. Okay? So, I think that I teach you the basics. I can understand where you're coming from, and it is quite difficult to keep just a few of the subjects that we talked about in case you didn't really realize that those were the particular things that you were trying to focus on, okay? Alright, so it's okay to talk loud here. If you need to answer any of the questions, then I can absolutely help you out with those. Okay, okay. So, besides your name, what is they call you? Luisito, huh? That's a nice name. Alright, you have to practice your grade at school so that you can be able to pass the grade here at summer school. This is Elliott School for learning folks, and it is a night class so that you can study quietly. Okay. So I have this book here with me, and I just found out that you were open to poetry. That you wrote your own poetry, huh? Interesting. Right. Winter is a cabin with a fireplace and bed with a blanket so I can get a cup of coffee and start waking up. I call this house a cabin so I can do so much. When the snow falls, I can finally start sipping my coffee and build a snowman like I did last year. Snow fall down so I can plant instead of leaves. Bagging a large lamp tree. Buying cones fell too far and collect so I can't paint that. Winter so I can turn the fireplace and sit it by the pajamas. By my pajamas. I'm going to need that dollar to fix the buttons of the snowman in the fridge to build a character for the snowman. So winter came by. My cup of coffee waits and waits. Winter. That was an excellent poetry. And I'm glad you got to write that. I'm going to keep this book here for you, okay? Okay. So how often do you write poetry? Quite often. Okay. You write poetry quite often. That's good to know. Glad you decided to write poetry. And that's very good to know. Good to know, okay? Okay. I'll see you next time.